all other visitors to our schools. Those procedures can be found on the agenda page of our website. Additionally, the board meeting will be live streamed for viewing purposes only. Anyone wishing to view the meeting may do so via Zoom. The webinar ID for this meeting is 844-5717-2528, and the required password is 373804. All right, I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please. Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, Dr. Morphy. Ms. Jansen.
Here.
Mr. Copeland.
Here.
Ms. Zavaniero.
Here.
Mr. De Silva.
Here.
Mr. Denise.
Here.
Mr. Gallo.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Mr. Kuzmarski.
Here.
Dr. Morphy.
Here. Adequate notice of agenda of this meeting has been provided to the Ridgewood News and the Record, specifying that the Mahwah Board of Education will meet on December 11th, 2024 in the administrative offices, 60 Ridge Road, Mahwah, New Jersey. Copy was filed with the Township clerk. Salute to the flag. Mr. De Silva, would you lead us, please?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and face the flag of our nation. Place your right hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we don't require an executive session in the beginning of our meeting this evening, so let's move on to agenda questions. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions under new business on this agenda. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you're here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you're here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. We need a motion to open the meeting to the public. Mr. Gallo, second by Mr. Hughes. All right, we are officially open to the public. All right, seeing no one coming forth at this time, motion to close the meeting to the public. Mr. Kuzmarski, and second by Mr. Hughes. All right, our Mahwah student representative report this evening. Are you on?
I'm on.
Yeah.
Okay. So next,
Maybe a little closer maybe to the microphone so we could hear it. Yeah.
okay. We have our winter concert coming up, which is going to be December 17th at 7 p.m. and that's just in the Mahwah High School auditorium. And our choir, orchestra, and band will all be performing there. Also, next Friday, we have long anticipated elfin trip coming up for all the seniors to go caroling at the elementary schools. And also, when we get back from break, on January 10th at 7 p.m., we have the talent show, which is going to be a senior class fundraiser. And winter sports are also starting up now with scrimmages and practices, except for hockey, who has already had their first game, which they won. And for our holiday philanthropy, SGA and NHS ran a gift drive for an organization called Families for Families in Wyckoff. And we collected gifts for Swiss Family. And lastly, the marching band performed in the Ramsey and Mahwah parade over the weekend.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Happy holidays to you.
You too.
And we'll see you in 2025. Seems quick, right? All right, Dr. DeToro, superintendent's report this evening.
Yes, we have a very special report. So I'm going to start with two of our students. We have two students in the audience from 4th grade. Dr. B came to me probably about a month or two ago and said he has two students who really want to make a difference and they have a project that they would like to propose. We were excited to engage with them. We have Nolan and Julian in the audience who would like to present their presentation to the board. You guys want to come on up?
Good evening. Thank you for your time. My name is Julian Ragone. And my name is Nolan Costantino. We are here to ask you to approve our donation of a bike rack to Joyce Kilmer. There are many reasons for having a bike rack at Joyce Kimmel. Biking benefits students emotionally, physically, and mentally. It is also a fun way to get to school. Me and Noah were really excited to bike to our new school, but when we started, we quickly noticed there was no place to park them. From this problem came an idea. We planned to rake leaves to earn money. From the money raised was going to be used to purchase a bike rack that can be donated to the school. We are proud to report, as a result of our hard work, we earned $500, and the company Access Rec agreed to match our earnings, bringing us to a grand total of $1,000. With this $1,000, we will purchase a bike rack that can hold 18 bikes, 9 on each side. We hope to inspire kids to bike with us. Thank you.
That was amazing.
Go through the middle and shake your hands.
Thank you so much.
Nice job, congratulations.
Excellent,
Great
thank
job.
you.
Great job.
Congratulations.
Great preparation.
Great.
Great job, boys. Excellent. Thank you so much for your help.
And I have
Congratulations.
I'm happy to see bike racks come back, because when I was their age, we used to ride our bikes to school. Betsy Ross, like all the way up. So it was, I think it's fantastic that they're, to see kids on bikes. When was the last time you see kids on bikes anymore? I think it's fantastic.
Wear your helmets.
Great idea, yep.
Reducing the traffic on Ridge Road.
One bike at a time. Boys, I can't tell you enough. I'm very proud of you guys. You guys did a great job. I thought you were gonna read something. You had it all memorized. You did a wonderful job delivering that. And I can't thank you enough for taking the initiative and going out and raking and making the money for something you were passionate about. I don't want to forget to say, Access Rec, this is the second time that they have supported our district as well. So thank you to Access Rec as well. It is a Mahwah family. We have someone in the crowd who is a part of Access Rec. So they did a great job, and they're very generous with helping us with our playgrounds to make them even more wheelchair accessible. They started at Betsy, and they worked at JK, so we can't thank them enough. So boys, did a great job. Access Rec, thank you very, very much.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, here's the thing. I know sometimes it gets uncomfortable because you're like, do I stay? Do I go? You're always welcome to stay. But if you'd like, you can go. I'm not kicking you out. You're more than welcome to stay the whole time. But I just wanted to give you that little ticket out.
It doesn't get any better from here.
I'm not going to take offense to that because my report's still going.
There's the other report.
Right.
There are pictures.
And it's riveting.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Okay. I have more. All right, I'm not, but you know what? I'm gonna barrel through.
We have to try.
I said my statement.
Here's what we're gonna do. So I'm happy to report, we are 1 week out from the strategic plan, our first meeting, so we've been working with Matt Lee from New Jersey School Boards. So far, we have 80 people signed up for the event. We're very proud of that. When we talked to Matt Lee, it far exceeds surrounding districts, but our first strategic plan meeting in 2020, we had over 100, so that's really what we're looking for. It's not so much, we want to have more than other districts. It's more along the lines of that it's really great to be able to come out with a strategic plan and say that we've heard from this many community members. I'm happy to say that we do have people who do not have children in the school district who have signed up, which is great. I would like for that to continue to build over the next 3 meetings. But we're looking forward to engaging the community. We're going to break it up into a couple different sections just to give you a little tasting of what the meeting is going to be about. Obviously, we have to open up as a board meeting, and then we're going to break off into the strategic plan meeting. During the meeting, what we're going to do is Dr. Fair and I are going to do a very brief presentation to all those who were there about the work that was done in the first strategic plan, just spotlighting a couple different things from each of the frames to get them to understand these are the products that come out of all of this hard work. And then we're going to spend most of the time, Matt Lee is going to be facilitating. We're going to step aside, be a part of the different tables that are there, and be a participant. And Matt Lee is going to be facilitating those conversations that are grounded in the celebrations and the points of pride of Mahwah, but also things that we want to further consider. That's going to be meeting one. So please continue to spread the word. We would love to continue to build that RSVP list. As all of you know right now, is we have a newsletter coming out. As we continue to look for opportunities to spread information throughout our community, we felt it was important to have a message from the board. We asked Dr. Morthy if she could please provide that message. She was able to send that our way. And we also would like to know our community to know who you are. So a picture of you will be included in that message. We're shooting for mid-January for it to be mailed out to all of our community members. It'll be mailed out and also be posted on our website and sent out through our social media platforms. We were fortunate enough to go and enjoy Get Smart, the high school production. I was at the senior citizens presentation. It was a great crowd, by the way. I got a chance to sit next to the therapy dog that was in training, the best. And we have a celebrity parent here. We have the parent of Miss Finch, who is on the dais. The production was absolutely tremendous. As always, the kids did a wonderful job. Get Smart was such a great, it's great to see the kids have such a range. It's not always serious. There's a great sense of humor. It allowed the kids to be who they were, and I know it takes a ton of work. So I just want to congratulate the kids and thank all of the staff who were involved in making that happen. Our next is a shout out to the Mahwah Schools Foundation. This is an ongoing grant from our Mahwah Schools Foundation. It's a day in clay that they bring out an outside organization to have our kids work with this type of material. It's great to go from school to school and see how the kids learn about how the different objects are created from start to finish. The kids absolutely love it. They get their hands dirty, and they really enjoy the process going through. So this is an example of Mahwah Schools Foundation coming in and providing a learning experience for our students that's outside of the normal day-to-day. We just had a Mahwah Schools Foundation meeting this week. They are hard at work on getting ready for the gala. They're looking for sponsors. The theme has been set. It's a secret. I'm not allowed to share it with you. But it is going to be, I believe it's at Biagio.
It's on Instagram.
Oh, they said they were going to do it in January. Oh, good. So now I can put it in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Because they were hesitant to allow me to put in a newsletter. But that's something that they're looking for people to sign up for. It's going to be a fantastic event. And I urge all of you to attend. We had American Education Week, November 18th through the 22nd. It was a week-long celebration that recognized the contributions of educators, families, support professionals, school boards, administrators, and legislators of public education. Each day of the week highlights how much each member of the community can contribute to making public schools great. All of our schools do something a little bit different, but it's really important, which I'm glad, because there's a variety of experiences for our families across the board. It was well attended, something that we're going to continue to do year over year, and we're already in talks about what are some things that we can do even different next year. So thank you for all the parents who came, parents, grandparents, everybody who came to experience the work that's happening each and every day. I know you look at this and say, what in the world is a Golden Sneaker Award? This is a big to-do. It's almost like the Grammys at Joyce Kilmer School. Joyce Kilmer's physical education program has just awarded its Golden Sneaker Award for the month of November. The Golden Sneaker Award is an award that the students can earn as a class. This award is a pair of golden sneakers that will stay in their classroom and is given at the end of each month. To the class that shows the most enthusiasm, participates appropriately, demonstrates self-control, cooperation, and are prepared for physical education. Pardon me. Congratulations to Mr. Rapp's class for earning the award for November, and thank you to Ms. Scuderi for the creation of this program. Also, thank you to Mr. Alfano because they are a pair of his shoes. Yeah, that's what
You're done with your.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. DeToro.
It's a pause.
Sorry. All right, shall we,
We're done.
oh, okay, well, thank you, Dr. Totoro. And, it was Nolan and the other?
Nolan,
Julian. I mean,
Julian's dad is one of the owners of Access, Access Rep.
Access Rep. I wanted to just say the initiative that they demonstrated, like you see a problem, we all see problems, we don't always do something about it, but at their, young ages, I almost felt like they were doing a presentation to Shark Tank. I wanted to actually be like, and I'll give you the $1 million, because it really felt, it was perfectly rehearsed and done, but the initiative is great. They saw something, they want to do something, maybe, that's exactly what, it's all about. Like you see something and you want to create a solution. So anyway, Nolan and Julian, that was an amazing, and then to raise money and then to get matching funds and all that. So,
And not an easy way to raise money.
no,
Leaves.
The old-fashioned
that's
way.
tough.
Yeah.
That's some hard work.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mr. Lamb, do you have
I
a?
think we're gonna skip this part tonight.
I've actually came here for this part tonight.
Maybe we should have Ms. Davinier read the results.
Read someone else.
Mr. Lamb, your report this evening.
We got jokes here on the board.
So I wasn't going to mention, the election results are on the agenda to be certified, so congratulations again to our 3 board members for your reelection.
Wait, but I thought you had to read the numbers.
No.
Well,
I'm here for the numbers.
our finance chair can if you wish.
Perhaps. I'm biased.
Congratulations.
Well done.
So, congratulations to you. So the 2023-24 audit is nearly complete. The state did push back the deadline until January 15th. It used to be approved in December, but the state has pushed back the deadline, and it seems to be a temporary thing. They push it back every year. We have begun the budget process for next year, the 25-26 school year. So we're still early in that process, met with our finance committee, met with our administrators. Mr. Romero in our facilities department has been spending a lot of time working with our architects. The board did approve a rod grant project for the replacement of the roof at above the kitchen at Mahwah High School. And we are hoping to bid that out in January and have the board approve it in January if all goes well. It would be a summer project. And the great news about that, it's a $1 million project, but the state would be paying about 40% of it. So that's good news. And right below that roof is a new serving line at the high school cafeteria. And Pomptonian, our food service vendor, said that in less than 2 weeks, the sales are increased dramatically, that the lines are shorter. She already said, Rebecca Davis, the food service manager, said that the new food service line has reduced the wait time by 8 minutes, and that has resulted in sales going up. So it's a win-win for the students and the district. And thank you to Mr. Romero and Pomptonian for orchestrating the order of the new serving line, the installation of it. There was a lot of electrical involved, even our technology department got involved. So everybody really did a good job working together on that. Thank you.
It's important to point out, I think, whenever we do get a rod grant, that we're only able to take advantage of those because we're in solid financial,
Correct.
shape for the district. There, if you don't have the rest of the funding readily available, you can't take advantage of that state money. So the fact that we are and have been responsible fiscally and really have worked to keep the district in good shape is what enables us to take advantage of those funds. So
Because we have to front them.
Exactly,
Right.
right. So I don't want to gloss over that. I think that's.
We have to have the
another
money in
important
capital reserve in order to be able to get reimbursed for the rest.
Yep, there are lots of other ones in the hopper, so.
Thank you, Mr. Lamb. Dr. Fair, your report this evening.
Yes, so you'll see the slide here. We have the Rampo College of New Jersey logo. In the spirit of our current strategic plan, we've been making some cognizant efforts in making more connections locally, especially across Mahwah and beyond. Dr. Toro and I were able to meet with Dr. Freed, who is the Assistant Dean for Teacher Education at Rampo. We were able to speak to our current dual enrollment partnership, and we're currently in the process of finding other opportunities for our students to make academic connections with the local college, from internship opportunities to additional dual enrollment possibilities, to the potential to connect our programs even deeper in the future. There was also an additional meeting that took place this morning that Dr. Toro is going to speak a little bit about.
Pardon me. So we invited Dr. Freed and his team to Mahwah today. He met with Mr. Pascal, Dr. Rubino. We were able to continue to have our conversations about extending our dual enrollment program, our senior option program. They also talked about student-teacher cohort experience, allowing the student teachers to come in, work with our district for a year, have us support them as well, and really get a chance to see these new candidates in action over time. Mr. Pascal talked to him about his want to extend his after-school tutoring program and what type of opportunities those student teachers or individuals who are in the teacher prep program to come in and support that. So Dr. Freed was very interested about that. We also got a chance to walk him through our T3 building, which he was blown away by all the different aspects of our T3 building, going from our science and technologies to our arts, and then we ended in the wood shop. And we got a chance to show him all the work that's happening there. So Dr. Freed is a great connection. He is yet another department that we're tapping into. If you guys remember, we worked with the visual arts department last year, that we got a chance to have our kids go to Ramapo, have Ramapo start to showcase their artwork here in Mahwah. Happy to report that one of the Mahwah Schools Foundation grants that Mr. Catazone was building some of the displays for the cube, for the art section. They are now complete, so now we're able to start to fill that space with materials yet again. So it's just the beginning with Dr. Freed. He just got to Ramapo, I think, 20 months ago, and he's already building that program, far exceeding the expectations of the people in which he reports to. So we're very happy with what's happening and what's to come with Ramapo College.
And what's great about Dr. Freed is he is a recently retired superintendent locally. So he understands the importance of building those connections, so it's very much reciprocal, which is great.
Can I ask two questions? One is related to the tutoring opportunity. So can we expand that tutor? I mean, we'll obviously test out at the high school, but also maybe at the middle school level and elementary school level, would they be open to that?
We didn't even get a chance to talk to anybody. To be honest, we just talked about the high school program and what that would look like and what the interest would be for the kids at Ramapo. But I think the first stage would be to look and see what that would be like. And if you remember correctly, we have that tutoring program at the elementary schools, I believe, starting in January for students before school and at lunch. I don't think it's after school, just due to transportation issues. So I think we'll build it at the high school, and if there's opportunity, we'll definitely look to.
So the idea is essentially use students at Ramapo who are in the education program to be tutors to our students.
Yes.
So, and some of them may want to be elementary school teachers at some point. So just, and the other thing is at Ramapo they have a very active nursing program. Dr. Freed obviously represents the education department.
Mhm.
But you know, there's such a huge need for nurses.
You know, that's as if you knew. So we actually also met with the lead of the nursing
This is
program.
later on in the presentation.
No, it actually
We'll
isn't,
jump right to it.
but I'm
Sorry.
glad
It
that
will
we're
be in the
here.
future.
I'm glad that we're here. But we met with the representative who is responsible for the nursing program. She leads it. She's also a Mahwah resident. Her children have gone through the system. So we utilized Dr. Freed to make that connection. And we had a follow-up meeting with her, and we're going to be looking at what that could look like in terms of pairing with potential nursing candidates as well.
Excellent.
Yep. So if you're in the wood shop, the Lucas's boat is a progress that's like, I mean, it's beautifully done. And there's even more. I think it's just important to highlight it because I'm hoping that by the end, when Lucas graduates, we have like the grandiosity of like the finished product.
Go for it.
Yes.
We're gonna break a bottle of champagne on the
Yeah.
bow and the launching and that kind of thing.
So obviously Lucas has been working on his boat and it's progressing quite nicely. Here he's recently fitted the deck pieces as well as the structural frame that goes beneath it. Recently Lucas also installed the bow decking, which he will be sanding and coating with epoxy. So there's some progress there.
I donated the bow decking.
What was that?
I donated the bow
Oh,
decking.
all right, great.
Because I had some extra from another boat I have.
From another boat you built?
No,
So,
from
If you
project I have.
enter the vestibule of Mahwah High School, you'll see recently we have the Engineering and Technology Pathway showcased. Periodically, Mahwah High School uses its entryway to showcase any of its 8 current career pathways. So recently, we have this pathway, which was showcased with a variety of student-created projects connected to the pathways coursework. So you'll see on the right-hand side of the screen, we have a student-created Mahwah, which was created by our students, featuring many parts of the township, from Island Road to Paddington Square to all of our schools, along with businesses in town.
I like how she always go to Ramsey.
I never leave.
So, here you'll see Mr. Catazone. He's our woodworking teacher at the high school. He had the honor of participating in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, using his skill to assist with float assembly. He spent all of Thanksgiving Eve working on assembling floats amongst a team of professionals in the woodworking and design fields. So we thought that was pretty cool. And when he requested the personal day, we said in response, only if we can brag about you at a board meeting.
And if he does it again, maybe we can attend.
Perhaps, perhaps.
It's a little field trip.
Yes.
I've always wanted to see because that's the night before, right, when they like
Yes,
build
yes,
and
all
blow it
day.
up, that's very popular.
Yeah, and apparently it's not just a night, it's a whole day.
Oh, it's a whole day,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
great.
Another staff member showcase, we have Miss Sarah Levy. She was recently selected as the recipient of the Excellence in Special Education Graduate Award for fall 2024 for her outstanding academic achievement. The award ceremony took place yesterday evening. Ms. Levy is a special education teacher at Joyce Kilmer School and is currently enrolled in Monmouth University's master's program in special ed, where she is also earning her certification to be a learning disabilities teacher consultant. So congratulations to Sarah, well earned. Lucia Seta Beeman is a Mahwah High School senior who has recently been notified that she is the recipient of the NJCTA Youth Leadership Award of the New Jersey Chinese Teachers Association. Lucy was recognized for her outstanding commitment to Chinese cultural activities, which has not only distinguished her as a leader, but also highlighted her contributions to fostering cross-cultural empathy and understanding, embodying the values of leadership, commitment, and dedication. Lucy and her family will attend the NJCTA Youth Leadership Award ceremony this upcoming Saturday. So congratulations to Lucy. Very cool, right? If you haven't heard yet, we have the Confidence Closet at Mahwah High School. Especially around the holidays, we thought it would be a great opportunity to highlight Mahwah High School's Confidence Closet. Born from student work through our community problem solvers. Through students' efforts, they fundraised last year to launch the closet. Caitlin Brisby, although no longer in the course, has stayed on to be the manager for the closet, helping organizing donated clothing as they come in and ensuring our new students receive welcome packages, which includes Mahwah spirit attire. Our Confidence Closets also earned a grant from the Bergen County Youth Services Commission in the amount of $7,000 to help stock our Confidence Closet with additional clothing and hygienic items, which are available for our students who need them. And lastly, we made mention of the application process at Mahwah High School. We're going to know next week the increase in acceptances, but while it is still early, we have had 33 students from the class of 2025 earn acceptances from 43 different colleges and universities. These are those schools on the screen, and we should have an updated list in January. So congratulations to our seniors so far. And that is my report. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Dr. Fair. Appreciate that. All right, my report this evening.
Thank you, Dennis.
With the visuals, I have to, that my goal for next year. President's report requires visuals as well. All right, but first of all, I wanted to say the production of Get Smart was truly amazing because the voice work and the accent was, I mean, if you remember Maxwell Smart and all that, and one of our board members has a daughter who was the secretary, and so again, congratulations to Riley, Brett. But it was a very well done performance, and it just highlighted for me, you know, Mr. Gallo in finance and facilities, that you know, perhaps a more robust performing arts center for our students at the high school.
I think your exact words were, "We need a new PA system."
I think it would, you know, just give us more opportunity for them to show their talents. You know, just a thought.
The Worthy Family Performing
Yeah.
Arts.
I didn't attend, whoa, I didn't attend Mahwah High School. I think that's a class of '93 project,
As well.
right?
I have photos I can share from the Basking Ridge High School auditorium.
Thank you, Mike.
Amazing.
All right, anyway, number 2, so I thought I would share the T-Bird Times, how that came about. But sounds like there's already been some talk of it, but regardless, it was actually, this is following our board goal number 3, which was for us as a board to increase communication with our community. So in August, at our board retreat, we have goals that we come up with as a board, and this is in following with goal number 3. This was something actually at school boards that I had spoken with Laura Bishop about, and our communications consulting group, and this was something that they had floated. Dr. DeTora then picked up on it as well, and we talked about it, and that's how it came to having a message from the Board of Education. So I just wanted to give the history, and it was just a short 2 paragraphs. But I think it's an opportunity, especially for committee chairs, if there are things that we want to share along the way, then certainly we can have other board members participate in our message from the board. So we look forward to that in January, right, Mike?
Yes.
Coming out. Thank you. All right, number 3 was the strategic plan process, and I just wanted to highlight that I can't believe it's 5 years. I mean, that we actually, you know, did this the first time. You know, when you're doing it the first time, you're not sure you're getting to the second time, but I also wanted to give a true, you know, shout out to Dr. DeToro, because this was your brainchild when you were Director of Instruction and Curriculum. You really paved the way, and I'm not sure, you know, when you're going through and initiating a new kind of pilot, you know, project, you're not sure how it's going to turn out, but really, I mean, it's been tremendous as our sort of guidepost of, you know, goal planning, where we want to see the district go, and also just, how things fit into the 4 areas as well. So again, I just wanted to shout out to the whole administrative team, but, it's exciting that we're starting our strategic plan 2.0, I guess, if we're calling it that. The 16th, Monday evening, is the first one. It's still not too late. You can come out till the day of. Am I right, Dr. DeToro? So there's not any, please try to sign up before if you can. The more, the merrier, as we are in the holiday season. There'll also be one in February of next year, and then April are the other 2. So again, come to all 3, come to 1 or 2, come to whatever, but let your voice be heard. Last time, they were very productive conversations where people spoke at tables in different groups. It might not be groups that are with friends, etc. There's a wide variety of people come out to participate in this process. Parents, our school community, but also our larger Mahwah community. So again, it's a great opportunity to have your voice heard and to really develop and help us develop the next 5-year plan, and know that we take it very seriously. So thank you very much for your support on that. Lastly, happy holidays, everyone, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you might be celebrating, and happy and healthy New Year, and we look forward to seeing you in 2025. All right, board committee reports. Mr. Gallo?
You go first.
Mr. Dini? Mr. Gallo?
The Finance Committee met 2 days last week. One was focused on, you may recall about, I think in April or so, we re-engaged with Land Associates, our engineers, to revise the findings from the original 2019 facilities audit. This is part of our strategic plan frame that's focused on facilities. They reported back, there were no new major projects, but there are 2 things that struck me. The cost of doing work in the future is going to be more expensive than we thought 5 years ago. But more importantly, we completed $21 million worth of work since the last time we did this. So we have responsibly improved our facilities and maintained them in good condition, and our challenge will be to continue to do that. Our follow-up from that meeting is essentially to look at some core elements in HVAC, roofing, and windows, or what we would call structural elements. And Land is working with Greg Romero to sort of lay that plan, what that looks like out over the next 5 years. As Prima mentioned at our committee meeting, that this is sort of a really big area. I mean, you're going to get boxes from Tom that have the entire audit report. Many trees were cut down, please don't let that sacrifice go unknown. But it's important for the board to understand that sort of the financial implication of and responsibility we have to maintain a infrastructure that has probably a replacement value of over $500 million. That's one of our main functions, and Dr. DeToro, I know, takes it very, very seriously. So it's something that's going to pan out over the next couple of years. But we're going to start on our core items, our HVAC roofs and structural elements, and see where we are and what our funding capabilities are to maintain this facility as what I would call a state of repair. That was one day of meetings. The second day of meetings was sort of a kickoff, sort of the budget process. Thankfully, we've known for many years that we've been very prudent in our budget, very smart. We haven't used one-time funding as much as some other districts might have done it. We're in relatively good condition, as Tom mentioned. The audit will be closed out hopefully in January. That will also close out our ability to fund our capital reserve, maintenance reserve funds from the excess surplus from 23-24. And that'll give us a sense of what our capital funding capabilities are in the near term. But more importantly, there are challenges, but we have a realistic plan on closing the gap that we potentially could have. It's not unrealistic and it's not beyond our capability. without digging into core programs that would affect students and their learning. So we're in a relatively good condition, but again, it's not something you go like, oh, we did it. It's constant work maintaining that focus. Mike has engaged the administrative team in sort of a whole team-wide effort to focus on areas that can be trimmed back where the resources may not be at the highest level of priority, so that we can continue to live within our 2% cap and also deliver an excellent program for our students. More to come.
Thank you, Mr. Gallo. Mr. Denise?
Yes, the policy committee met on November 12th to review policies and regulations 1240 to 1530. And we have 6 policies and regulations on tonight's agenda for our first reading. The first one is policy and regulation 1240, evaluation of superintendent. Had a minor language change by removing the word written from performance report and removing the oversight responsibility for the superintendent annual evaluation. Policy 1260, incapacity of superintendent, was revised to change the duration of when the superintendent is deemed incapacitated from 6 months to 3 months. Policy 1320, duties of business administrator / board secretary, was revised by replacing the word pupils with students to be consistent with what we have been doing throughout our review of the policy and regulation inventory. Also, preparing a comprehensive annual financial report was included in the list of business administrators' duties. Policy 1331, evaluation of board secretary. That was revised to establish dates to begin the process of evaluating the board secretary. Regulation 1400, job descriptions, was revised by replacing assistant superintendent with superintendent or designee for sending each employee a copy of their current job description. And lastly, 1511, Board of Education website accessibility, was revised to replace website accessibility coordinator with website accessibility committee for ensuring that the district's website conforms with accessibility benchmarks. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mr. Denise. Any other committee reports? Ms. Tavernier?
So just really quick about community partnerships, et cetera. Just giving a shout out for the Thunderbird partnership. So everything that we're doing all the time, it's not something that we talk about a lot. I was at the tree lighting on Sunday, hanging out with a friend of mine who I went to high school with, and there were students from the broadcast journalism class going around and they were doing interviews, and it was all very fun. My friend Becky used to be a TV reporter, and she's like, this is so cool, I need to know that we graduated forever ago. She was like, we didn't have this class. I'm like, yeah, it's like a completely different high school than we went to. And she was like, do you think you can get me in touch with the person? Am I allowed to go speak to the class? And I'm like, I love that you're saying that, because there's an entire program that you can register yourself with and you would be invited into the classroom. And it made me realize that with everything else that we're doing in the district, we don't always talk about it. So just like a quick shout out to remind people that the Thunderbird partnership exists. Teachers and staff are always going through it. They're always looking for new people to join. So if you have any sort of relatability to the classes that we're doing, even if you think that you don't, still register for it. You never know what you can be used for. Also strategic planning, very much looking forward to Monday night. Was having a conversation with a group of friends whose children are the same age as mine. We were kind of talking about, what does it really do? Is it important that I'm there? And I kind of framed it to them that our kids graduate in the year 2030. So this strategic plan really bridges the gap of the rest of Catherine's educational career here at Mahwah. Ben as well, and Janine, we all have kids graduating in 2030. So I've kind of framed that to a lot of my peers. It is important, and especially if you're in that current 7th grade class, this is it for the rest of their time in Mahwah. This is going to be the structure of what we're doing in our schools. So you should be there, you should care about that. And I think sometimes giving that frame of reference of, it seems so far out, and our kids graduating seems so far out, but it's not. It's really around the corner. And if you want to have a say in what goes on for the rest of their time here, this is the opportunity. The doors are open. Like, please come have a say. We want to hear from you. And if not, then I don't know what else to tell you. Like, this is the time to do it. So that was just kind of my piece on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did you want to highlight about the T-Bird Talks as well?
Oh, we can, yeah. So we just had our most recent T-Bird Talk event. I feel like there's just so much we're doing all the time. And that's really like a testament to our admin team, because we are just doing all sorts of fun things. We had it in the Innovation Lab at JK. We had about 20 people there that night. It's great, it's small, it's intimate, it's a really great way to be able to talk directly to people. I say it all the time, if you wanna have your voice heard and you don't wanna stand at that microphone and have 12 of us staring back at you, it's really the place to do it. I feel like being in that setting, people are more open, so I think there was a lot of great feedback. There was a lot of, I think we could change this, or like, I would like to see this different, but there was even more of, I have a lot of positive things to say. And there's a really nice balance there, right? Because you don't want it to be all negative. You don't necessarily want it to be all positive also, because then like, what was the point of us being here? But I think there's a lot of good feedback that comes out of it, that our admin takes back, and we've definitely seen changes in the past from it. Definitely looking forward to the next one coming up, February, do I have that right? I think it's February. The next one coming up as we come back from school in the new year. And again, just inviting people out, like there's just so many opportunities to come and have your voice heard. Like please take them. So those invites will be going out when we come back from holiday break, and we hope to see you guys there.
Thank you, Ms. Tavernier. Any board member remarks this evening?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
So I want to just follow up on that a little bit with the T-Bird partnership, and thank Ms. Fogarty for inviting me back to her AP Government Politics class recently. So they had just finished up their unit on lobbying and lobbyists, and so she invited me back for the second year to talk about my experiences when I go to Washington to do the things that we do, and it's a great experience to be in the classroom. She makes the experience so easy. The kids always have great questions, and the conversation that we get into is always interesting stuff. So I look forward to doing it. Hopefully I'll be invited back again next year. But
I guess you've made a good impression, Mr. De Silva.
Yeah, it's if you have the opportunity, put your name in, and maybe you get a call, maybe you don't, but if you have the opportunity, it's a great experience. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. And I think you're probably always impressed by, like, our students are excellent and
They really are.
have some like really good questions, right? And like, I think it's always probably something you're like, oh, didn't think of that. So yeah, that's good.
And
Glad you could
Brett's done
participate.
it as well, though, right?
Brett's
Brett's
done it.
done
Mr.
it.
Gallo, have you've not
I have not.
And
I had to work hard
I've
to
put
get
myself
Rick
out
to do
there.
it.
I'm happy to do that. All right, shall we move on to old business? Do we have any other
Just
board
one
members?
last
Oh, sorry.
One last
I was
shout-out
trying
to-
I was trying to get to old business,
So there
Mr.
there
Gallo.
was marching band, the students who sang at the holiday event on Sunday. Again,
Oh,
sort
tree
of
lighting.
the whole town coming out
Yeah.
in various forms to just have a fun time. The vibe was fantastic, the weather was great, the event worked out beautifully. And again, when our students can be seen sort of in the adult public world, they always shine, and it's always great to see them in action, so.
And the drone show.
Yeah,
And the drone show.
Well, thank you to our new rec director, Mrs. Duffy.
Yes.
Putting that together was fantastic, and Mr. Kuzmarski's hard work and all that. That's
So is this a drone lighting show? I've seen this. I saw this over the summer at an event.
I would say though, leave it to Mahwah. We're planning a drone show just before all the drones showed up in northern Jersey.
Well, I was actually thinking that's all over the patch, but.
It wasn't lost on us that we were waiting for a lot of phone calls. It was actually gonna be a surprise, and then we thought better of that, put it out, just in case.
Okay.
But it was a really good event, and to Mr. Gallo's point, it was great seeing all the kids. It was great seeing, we brought the high schoolers in for the second time to video and do things. do a production for MCN. And it's just, it was a great time, weather was perfect, it was great to see everyone there, and the drone show.
Amazing, amazing. All right, now should we take old business? All right, 17, we have minutes 17A from November 13th. I need a motion. Mr. Gallo, second by Mr. Copeland.
17A and B.
Take A and B. Oh, it's the same date, okay.
One's executive.
Yeah, all right, yeah, one's exact, yeah, sorry, 17A and B. Let me amend that. Mr. Gallo, second by Mr. Copeland. All right, Mr. Lamb.
Roll call. Ms. Jansen?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Ms. Avinero?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Gizmarsky?
Yes.
Dr. Morrison?
Yes. All right, now should we take new business? We have A, 18A through U this evening. Mr. Gizmarsky, and a second by Mr. Denise.
Dr. Morton, question?
Sure.
18T, regarding the meeting calendar for next year. Question, I have some proposed changes to the meeting calendar that I'd like to make, but I want to make sure we get this approved tonight for notice purposes. So the question I have for you, Mr. Lamb, is what is that notification timeline that you need to notify for upcoming public meetings?
We need to send an advertisement to our newspaper publications at least 48 hours in advance of the meeting. So if we want to advertise this in a block, the paper would need to receive this meeting schedule.
So if the changes need to be made, we have plenty of time to make some of these changes.
Yeah, and boards normally like to stick to their meeting schedule, but they do change meetings, they change dates and times, they add meetings, cancel meetings. So if we do make any changes, we would just put out the notice.
Yeah, and I have no problem, I want to share some of these changes with Dr. Morthy, Dr. Drew, and everyone involved. One of the changes is for the beginning of February. So I just want to make sure that if we are able to, if we vote on this tonight and make any kind of changes, maybe at the reorg meeting, we can still have time to make some of those for notification purposes.
Do we have?
Correct.
Do we have to approve it tonight? I mean, we can advertise without.
That's really up to the board and what Dr. DeTuro recommends.
Yeah, I didn't know from a notification standpoint if we needed to or not.
If
but-
you're
We don't have the
comfortable,
calendar in order to provide notification, but if we've got changes, I mean, it probably should be tabled so that we can figure all that out.
And the reorg meeting's already been approved because that was part of the 24 approval.
Well, I mean, I guess Brett, I know we had a conversation about it. Are there things that we can then just add on to it? I mean, this can be foundationally the meeting schedule, but if there's additional questions, we can always clarify with Dr. DeToro and the team. Again, I'm not.
You do have a couple of options.
Okay.
One would be you approve this, and then later on you approve changes. Another one is you table it, and another one is you, if you want to make changes tonight, if they're small changes, then we approve it as amended. So there's really three different options.
I think option 3 I would kind of push off to the side because I think some of these changes are not just simple changes, and I want to make sure we're thoughtful with them and we look through them and make sure that we're not doing anything that couldn't conflict with anything. I have no problem proposing to table it to the first meeting in January, and we can kind of take the next month and look at it. I'm sorry?
That way we don't have two of them out there, because if we
That's
approve
fine with
one
me.
tonight and then we approve a different one later, why don't we just table?
It's nice, to table, because we can then put,
Do it
we
one
don't have to
time.
put, we'll put it up on the website once we've all had some input into the process, and we have a 99.9% schedule as opposed to a schedule that's at 95%.
I'm okay with proposing, so from this standpoint, I would propose to table 18T till the January 28th meeting, which is our rework.
Okay.
If I have that
We
right.
have
Is
a
that the right
motion.
date, Tom?
We have a motion by Mr. Copeland to table 18T.
It's January 6th.
So,
And do we have a second?
second.
Mr. Gallo. Okay, so then we will vote on that, unless there's any more discussion.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the clarification.
Okay. So you ready for roll call on that?
Sure.
Motion to table 18T. Ms. Jansen,
Yes.
Mr. Coughlin,
Yes.
Ms. Debonero,
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Denise.
Yes.
Mr. Gallo.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
Mr. Kazmarski. Yes. Dr. Morton.
Abstain.
So now, do we want to reintroduce a motion for the rest of 18?
So,
I'll make a motion to approve 18A through S and 18U. Is that what you're looking for?
Correct.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, and a second? Mr. Keith? Any discussion on the remainder of item 18? Okay, roll call. Ms. Jansen?
Yes.
Mr. Coughlin?
Yes.
Ms. Debonero? Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Kazmarski?
Yes, on all, I must recuse myself on Q, our shared service agreement with the Township of Mahwah for a school security officer. I'm happy to have that done. And be voted on.
And Dr. Moore?
Yes.
And I have abstained on 18A, I have a whole list here. Check numbers 117827, 117898, check number 118007, and 118143.
All right, let's take 19 new business personnel, A through B. Motion on the floor. Mr. Hughes, second by Ms. Ting Jansen. All right, roll call, please, Mr. Lamb.
I just have a quick question on the mentee roundtable.
Sure.
Is this different than what we've done in the past, or is that, it seems like there's a little bit more oomph to it now?
No, so typically, in previous years, we've had, the structure has been the mentors and the mentees meet as an elementary and a secondary cohort. Our goal is to really have some honest dialogue. So our goal was to essentially shift from having mentors and mentees and having it be a more intimate, like instructional setting. So we just have the mentees typically meet as a cohort.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Okay.
Mr. Lamb, thank you.
Roll call on item 19. Ms. Jansen?
Yes.
Mr. Coughlin?
Yes, and thank you to all the volunteers.
Ms. Debonero?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Kazmarski?
Yes.
Dr. Morton?
Yes. All right, public questions or comment. Public participation at board meetings is in accordance with bylaw 0167. At this time, members of the public may ask questions or make a comment on educational issues or school matters of community interest. As a matter of fairness, you're asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you're here as an individual, please give us your name and address. All right, I need a motion to open the meeting to the public. Mr. Kazmarski, second by Mr. Denise. We are officially open to the public.
I guess I better raise this a little taller than the students who came before. Beth Grossman, 91 Fisher Road. I wanted to take the opportunity to thank both the board and some of the staff members for the Career Pathways program, and in particular, the internship portion of that program. I was lucky enough to be a mentor to a new internship program with the League of Women Voters, and I just can't say enough about Miss Noel and her enthusiasm for that program, and how much she did to help me get it off the ground. She helped me to recruit the right students It's such a rigorous program. She requires them to work for a certain number of hours. She'd email me every once in a while and say, they're a little short on hours this month, what are you gonna do next? She had meetings with them to make sure they were getting value out of the program. I just can't say enough about that program and what Miss Noel does to get these students to have experiences that outside the classroom that are just so valuable to them. She marched with us in the Mahwah Day Parade. And I wanted to talk about the capstone event where the students are required to get up in front of parents, their mentors, their teachers, and I mean, you can hear I'm nervous, my voice is shaking. They were so poised and confident and articulate when they spoke about the experiences that all of them had. When my 6 students spoke, I was in tears just thinking about what they were able to get out of the program and who they are. I also wanted to mention that Mr. Pascal is so supportive of the program. He works really closely with Miss Noel, and you could just tell how proud he is of those students, which is wonderful too. So just a little background, my program taught students everything they need to know about registering to vote, all the different ways that you can vote, from vote by mail or then early voting and all that, and how to organize voter registration events. They held a postcard party in the summer and wrote postcards to registered voters in Georgia to provide them with information that they needed about voting. They're just an amazing group of students, many of them planning on going into law or political science. And on that note, I also wanted to give a shout out to Ms. Fogarty, who I also had the experience through the Thunderbird Partnership of speaking to her AP Government and Politics class about the League of Women Voters and what it does and how to ensure that everyone in a nonpartisan way has the opportunity, who is eligible, has the opportunity to vote. I can't say enough about how much she has taught your Mahwah High School students to be lifelong voters and to understand all the levers of government from local up to national and how it can be their voice. So I thank you for supporting that program and the staff, and I just can't say enough about how amazing a program it is. I also wanted to be here tonight because I can't be here on the 16th, and so I just wanted to communicate how important it is that you give the students these outside experiences with people who have different expertise in the community that can just give them something that they can't get in the classroom. So, thank you.
Thank you. That'd be great.
Thank you very much, Ms. Grossman. Dr. Jordan, please.
Ms. Grossman, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you because you absolutely made my day. It's great to hear a couple different aspects. Number one, thank you for welcoming our students into your organization and educating them on all of the aspects of the learning that they're learning here in school and how it's applicable out in the real world. That's number one. Number two, I appreciate the accolades that you're giving to Ms. Noel and Mr. Pascal and the team up there because they work really hard to create an experience that's worthwhile, but more importantly, to show their gratitude to people like you and organizations that allow our kids to go in and learn from the experts in the field. So we're going to continue that work. We're going to continue to expand and to have our kids be able, specifically to you and your organization, continue that civics education, not only in our schools, but see it in action, is just a blessing. So thank you so much for allowing our kids to learn under you and your group.
Thank you, it's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grossman. It's always good to hear good things about our staff, students, and but thank you for your participation as well and hosting our students as well, because it's important when we have our community partners. So thank you very much to you as well. All right, seeing no one else coming forward at this time, a motion to close the meeting to the public. Mr. Kazmarski, second by Mr. Coughlin. All right, we do have our executive session this evening, so I need a motion to recess to executive session. Ms. Jansen, second by Mr. Gallo, and we will adjourn from executive session. So thank you, everyone. Have a good evening and happy holidays.